Hey guys. All right. So we're going to start out the morning with my face oil, rosehip oil. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So I'm getting ready to go to my job and do a couple of hours of work. Neil's off this morning, so he's in the other room watching some TV. He loves watching movies. When we first met, that was one of the things we did all the time was go to the movies, rent movies, watch movies. We love that. So, let's get ready. Let's get out of the shower. So, the title of this video is, Do You Have the Courage to Change? And I wasn't really sure what I was going to talk about today. And I was getting my phone together so I could come on here and do a live with you guys. And I saw my Courage to Change book. And I thought we can read the Courage to Change meditation this morning. So that's what we're going to do, you guys. So, today's April 11th. Yeah, so here we go. Why continue to come to Al-Anon or AA? Because without spiritual help, living or having lived with an alcoholic or an addict is too much for me. I often need help to maintain a rational perspective. I long for a closer relationship with my higher power. The people in my meetings are so warm and loving, and I would feel deprived if they were not a regular part of my life. The steps, traditions, and concepts all serve to put structure and goals in my life. Al-Anon is the light that helps me find my way in the darkness. As a longtime member, I am very familiar with Al-Anon, but I am no more of an authority than any other member. I try not to present myself as a paragon of Al-Anon wisdom, and I discourage newcomers from putting me on a pedestal from which I am bound to fall. I retain the right to have problems, to cry, to make mistakes, to not know all the answers. I still have and use a sponsor. I continue to give service, but I don't have to be in charge. Oh, hey guys, today's reminder. The amount of time I spent in AA is less important than what I'm doing with that time today. Hey girl. So I like this meditation this morning because what it's telling me is that I'm no better than you, and you're no better than me, but we're on the same level. It doesn't matter if you've got 20 years sober, you guys, 1 day sober, 30 days sober, 16 minutes sober. It doesn't matter. We're all in this together, and we can all use guidance. You know, we can all use a helping hand. So for me, something that's very, very important. Hey, Bethany. Is to stay level-headed and not let my ego take hold, because for me, ego is what tells me that I'm somehow superior to others because I got a little bit of clean time. You know what I mean? And that's just not the case. We are all equal, and as long as I remain humble and remind myself that I am just Nicole. You know, I've learned all these things. And the things that I've learned, you guys, you can learn them too, right? This is not something that you cannot achieve, right? You can achieve sobriety. You can achieve recovery. You just have to have the courage to change. The thing about it is change is scary because we don't know what's going to happen. Right? I know for me, I get stuck in these habits of doing the same thing because, well, I'm that kind of creature, right? It's like I get into a rut, I guess you could say. Hey, Julie, where I'm just doing the same thing. And for me, that's comfortable, right? But when I'm challenging myself and I'm trying to be a better person, I do things that are uncomfortable for me. But in the long run, it ends up helping me so much. So let me share with you guys how I've been trying to make myself uncomfortable this week. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you don't, I have an Instagram called Real Talk Recovery, and I have an Instagram that's my personal Instagram. And I posted on Real Talk Recovery's Instagram today that me and Nathaniel have been getting out every day and going just out in the sun. During this last summer, you guys, I don't know what happened to me, but I turned into a straight recluse. I was locking myself in the house all the time. And so I'm so grateful to have my son, because he's like a little woodpecker. He's always trying to tell me to get up and go do something. He's always wanting to do something. He's got so much energy. And so that inspires me and pushes me to do more, you know. So yesterday we went to the playground and we played and we were walking around. And then I was like, hey, let's go hiking through the woods. So we went through the woods and ended up like on the other side of, hey, Llewellyn. We ended up on the other side of Cantrell on the sidewalk. And so we had to walk all the way back to my car, which was great. I needed to get out, you guys, and it's helping me so much. So every day this week, you guys, I've gone outside and been with my son. And like, even if I'm not doing like strenuous activities, I'm getting my walk on, you know, I was getting my walk on. I look like one of them power mall walkers. So that's been helping me to like feel better and push myself out of my comfort zone. You know, with recovery from addiction, you guys, a lot of the times what happens, I don't know if this happens to people that are not recovering addicts, but some of you guys, if y'all aren't, y'all can tell me. I just hit these like lulls, like in my everyday life, where it's like I just don't feel like doing anything, you know. And I was really in a bad funk for the last 6 months or so with my activity level and just my recovery in general. Like I was just having a hard time internally. You know, I think a little bit of it had to do with the fact that I was trying to jump off medications and stuff, and that wasn't a good idea. But now I realize it, I identify it, and I'm not going to do that anymore, you know, and I'm trying to push forward and get out and move around and get active and be of service to my son and my husband. And that helps me, you guys, to think of it as being of service to my family. Like, and what I mean by that is like, sometimes you guys, sometimes I don't want to do laundry, okay? Sometimes I don't want to cook dinner. Hey, Raymond, sometimes I don't want to cook dinner, you know? Sometimes I don't want to fold laundry. That's the worst thing I hate doing, is folding laundry. So what I've been trying to do now is like think of it as being of service to my son and my husband, right? Because they need me. They need me to perform those duties so that way the house doesn't go, you know, downhill. And so when I think of it that I'm being of service to my family and I'm doing something to help you know, my son and my husband, it encourages me to keep going, right? And I push myself. I've been pushing myself to stay on top of that housework and stuff, you know? I know, yes, girl, that's how I feel, Llewellyn. It's like, and I'm not like agoraphobic, because I work with a guy, his name is Jason. He has agoraphobia, and he really can't leave the house, or he has like panic attacks. But like, it's just like I don't want to, you know. Hey, Kit Kat, thank you, baby. So it's just, I have to push myself, you guys. I don't know if you call it depression or what, but it's like, I love, now that I'm sober, I love being at my house. I love having that stability, knowing that I have a roof over my head, knowing that I have food in the refrigerator, knowing that I have my husband and my son safe and sound right beside me. Because for so long in active addiction, I didn't have that stability. So it's like now I'm like overkill in it, you know? And so I'm trying to find that balance. I'm trying to find a balance of, yes, Danny, peaceful and protective. I'm trying to find that balance, you guys, of, you know, what's too much inside, what's not enough outside, and all that kind of stuff. So when I was in treatment, one of my counselors, I will never forget him, you guys. His name was Oscar. And he's got probably 20 years sober now. Oscar actually was a football player for the Arkansas Razorbacks, and he ended up having an addiction. I think it was pain pills and alcohol, and he ended up getting sober and getting a job for the treatment center, right? He's an older man, and he used to say the same. He'd say, we got to stay on our 8, okay? And you know how an 8 is like that. So an 8 perfect balance, 4 and 4. And so I've got to get on my 8, right? And find that perfect balance that works out for me, you know, and it's going to be different for everybody. What's balanced for me might not be balanced for you, but I'm trying to find my balance. Yeah, I know. And listen to this, guys. He was my counselor in the last treatment center I went to. And he really put himself out there for me, because I almost got kicked out, you know, because I was in treatment trying to hustle Xanaxes in so I could use while I was in treatment. And so, but that was 4 years ago in July, you guys. In July, I will celebrate 4 years. And this has been the most amazing, Lord willing, God willing, I will celebrate 4 years in July. And I'm not going to get ahead of myself. You know how that is. But this is a miracle, you guys. This is a miracle for me. I never, ever thought that I would not be using drugs and alcohol. I thought that I was going to live my life high, you know. Thanks, Danny. I thought I was going to never come out of that. I don't mean to cry. I'm just so grateful that I'm not like that anymore. Like, it was just such a bad time in my life. And, you know, we can all laugh and I can tell story times about it, you guys, but it was a hard time. You know, I was very insecure, and I was just searching, right? Searching for something to make me feel better about myself and my life and the decisions I had made, because during my active addiction, I was making such horrible decisions, you know. I was talking to one of my girls from Patreon, and we were talking yesterday on when I was at work, Chrissy, and we were talking about, I was talking to her about something that happened while I was still in my active addiction. I got pregnant when I was 24, and I had an abortion. And, you know, after I had that abortion, you guys, I went on this like downward spiral. I mean, I was already in the gutter, but I went even farther down, and I tried to blot out that memory of that abortion. I tried to forget that it ever happened, you know? And now that I'm sober and I've been talking with Chrissy a lot, she also has been through some of the same things I've been through. And what it's done is it's brought up that thought. And for some reason, I've been thinking about that. And I feel so guilty. And then I think about my son now and how much I love him and how much love I have for him. And I think, you know, what if I hadn't have done that? You know, would I have 2 little Nates right now, you know? I think about that a lot. I think about, would Nate have had a brother or a sister? But I'm going to tell you this right now. I feel horrible about that, you guys, and it's affected me for a long time. But I'm no longer going to let that shame keep me back, because that's what happens. It's okay to feel sad or disappointed in yourself about something that you did while you were actively using, but I can't let that shame keep me sick, because that's what happens with me, is that instead of just like, you know, letting it go, I'll let it build up, and that shame will just eat my lunch, you know? And so I was laying in bed last night after Neil and Nate fell asleep, and I was praying, and I was just asking God to forgive me, you know, because I don't think I've ever asked him to forgive me for that. I I know that he forgives me, you guys. I know that he knows that I was really in a bad way. And at that time, when that happened, I thought that was the best option for me. Because in my mind, I didn't want to stop using. And in my mind, I was, my baby was going to be unhealthy. And that was my justification. That's how I justified my actions. But now when I look back on it, I really do wish that I hadn't have done that, But I know I can't change the past. And I know I can't go back and make it different. So I just wanted to share with you guys, like, there's some things in my life that I'm still working through, And it's strange to me how when different people come into my life and I start working with different women, how they bring out things in me that helps me, And so having Chrissy to talk to and learn about her life and what she's going through right now has helped me to process through some things that I've been going through and that I needed to work through, that I hadn't already worked through, that I had kind of been keeping in my back pocket, And every time I would think about it, I would push it back down, Oh, can't think about that. That's just going to make me sad and depressed, right? And so I'm just processing it right now with you guys, basically. And, man, I'm telling you what, I was just so sick when I was in my addiction, you guys. And like now, today, if I got pregnant today, I would not even think twice about having my baby. I would have the most amazing, beautiful little baby if I got pregnant again. And I would be happy, But back then, I wasn't happy. Back then, I was just, miserable. So anyway, I know that was sad, and I'm sorry if any of you got sad too, but I needed to talk about it. Oh no, girl, don't apologize. You're fine. I just hadn't thought about that in a really long time, and it made me think about it, and it made me think about how I hadn't asked for forgiveness, and so it's okay. It's not your fault. That's good. That's good, you guys. And that's the thing, like when you start working with other people, you guys, and trying to help other people get sober and change their life, they might not know it and you guys might not realize it, but they're helping you just as much as you're helping them. And that's what this thing is about. It's like, you might think, oh, Nicole comes on here and she helps me every day. She helps me so much. But y'all got to understand something. Like sitting here in front of you guys and talking about this and getting it off my chest and getting it out of my mind, this helps me. So you guys are helping me at the same time. And so I was just thinking about it. Yesterday when me and Nate were walking, I was looking on YouTube and we were listening to music. And I was thinking about how grateful I was just to have an opportunity to share my life with you guys and to be able to have a platform of people who are here to listen and be active and just help me in my recovery. And man, it's just an amazing feeling to have help in your life, you guys, and help in your recovery. Like, I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like I have so many people in my corner. And for the longest time, I didn't have that. I didn't have that feeling. I didn't feel like I had any help. I felt like I was all alone. And so that's what I really just love about my channel and YouTube, is that on my channel, hey girl, I feel like we have just created such a loving environment here, you guys, where we're all trying to be better people, right? I know how you feel, but I wouldn't have my daughter now if my life would have taken that path, having a passport. I just think she's the one who is my angel. I know, Carrie, that's how I feel about my son now. I feel like he saved my life, and I think I've shared that with you guys so many times that it's probably like getting old. Nathaniel was my lifesaver, and I do think back to the baby that I had gotten pregnant with back when I was younger, and I think if I had had that baby, would I have gotten sober then? Would I have gotten sober then and changed my life around? Or would I have, you know, kept doing all the horrible things, you know? So, but that's the thing, like, I cannot stay back there in that past. You know, I'm talking about it right now because I have you guys to talk to about it, right? But I can't go there by myself. Going back to that past by myself, you guys, is a dark place. And then what happens is I start festering on it. I start focusing on that past and I start really getting in it, right? And when you guys aren't here to help me and to talk me out of it, I'll stay in that thought and it will really fuck me up. And excuse my language. I know I'm trying not to cuss so much, you guys. But you know how I am. It's just been so therapeutic to be able to come on here and talk with you guys about what I'm going through, you know? So I'm just so grateful for you guys. But I wanted to tell you guys about something. So I don't know if you guys saw Miss Llewellyn who just popped in. Her name's Llewellyn Bissell, you guys. And she's got a channel. I want all of you guys to go over there and check out her channel and subscribe, okay? She is a survivor of abuse. And she has an amazing story. I think you guys will really relate, especially some of you ladies. You guys might relate too, but I know my girls will. And I want you guys to go check her out. I really think that you guys could use the support and it would probably help out Miss Llewellyn because she has a good channel and she's trying to spread a message of hope and recovery from abuse, you guys. And that's something I can get behind because as a survivor of relationship, you know, mental, physical, and emotional and verbal abuse, we need all the women we can get speaking out about, you know, and men, sorry guys, speaking about abuse and how it's not acceptable. And it doesn't matter, you guys, it doesn't matter if it's just verbal abuse. It doesn't matter if it's just, you know, oh, well, they love me and they take care of me. No abuse is acceptable. And I had to learn that over time because I thought that the person that abused me loved me. And I thought that their abuse was a way of them showing that they loved me, right? I thought, God, this makes me so sad. It makes me mad. No, it doesn't make me sad. It makes me mad, okay? I thought that him hitting me was because he just loved me so much that he couldn't control himself, right? And I know y'all are probably going, what? But just hear me out, okay? When you're in an abusive relationship for so long, and they're talking to you, they talk to you abusively, okay? They hit you, they tell you that you're seeing things that aren't there or you're overreacting. That was one of the main things that LD would do to me, was he would tell me that I was overreacting all the time and that things that I was thinking were happening weren't really happening, right? And, oh God. And I would believe him. You know, I would say, well, maybe I am overreacting. Maybe it isn't that big of a deal, right? And I would start believing the lies, right, that he was telling me. And by the time that dude finally left me, you guys, I was so broken. I was a shell of a human being. He had to leave me. That's how weak I was. I couldn't even get up enough strength to leave on my own. He had to leave me. And when he left me, I remember I woke up. I've told you guys this story before. He left me and I woke up and all my jewelry was gone. Gone. And he was gone. And I remember just sitting there and crying. You know, I wanted him to come back. I wanted him to come back. And for what? So he could beat me some more? So he could steal my money? So he could take advantage of my kindness? I mean, what the heck was I thinking? You guys, I'm telling you, it was so sick. Because I was just beaten down to such a low self-esteem that I thought that's what real love was. You know? I thought that's what, you know, that's how you showed affection, is by, you know, being possessive and territorial over your loved ones. And that's not how it is, you guys. Like, love is kind. Love is gentle. Love is respect. Love is respecting each other's boundaries and supporting somebody when they're struggling, not making fun of them for crying. Oh, that's one thing he would always do to me, was make fun of me for crying. Like I was faking it, and I wasn't faking it. You know, oh my God. So let me see what you guys are saying. Okay. Emotional abuse was the biggest issue in my relationship. I hate that. I think, and I feel like that's a lot of abusers' way of making us feel small is by making fun of us for crying. You're so weak. You're so weak. You can't even stand up for yourself. Ugh. But you know what? Thank God I'm free from that. Thank God I'm free from that. And now, you guys, real talk. Now, I have such... Neil is an amazingly supportive husband, you guys. Like, I can tell you guys for sure that he's probably the best man I've ever been with. He is so supportive. He's so kind. He's always been respectful of me. Like, sure, when we were struggling in our addiction, we had our times where we fought and stuff, but it was nothing compared to any of the stuff I've been through. Like, he's never hurt me, you know what I mean? I'm just very lucky. I feel like I'm blessed to have him, because when I met Neil, I didn't know, his birthday is December 27th, so he's like, Neil, are you Capricorn or Sagittarius? Capricorn. He's a Capricorn and I'm a Pisces. So it's like, you guys, when I met Neil, he opened the car door for me and I almost fell out of my chair, y'all. Right. Yes, Llewellyn. I can just imagine. And so you guys, Miss Llewellyn also wrote a book. That's so freaking cool. Girl, I need to write a book. I don't know how to do that, though. That seems like it would take a lot of time and effort. You must have been super dedicated. This is like, okay, see my channel, you guys? This is like my book. This is like my story times. This is like all my experience right here on a channel. Oh, really, Courtney? Hey, Lou, what's the name of your book? Will you put it in the comments so the girls will know? She also has a website, you guys, called savealife.org, I think. So she has it all on her channel. I found her because I was over on Jexie's channel and I saw her comment. And I don't know about you guys, but when I see somebody comment and I like their comment, I always go to their channel to see if they have a channel. And I'm like creeping, you know what I mean? So I creeped over there to her channel and then I found her. She was live streaming yesterday. So I popped in and listened to her live stream and I could just totally relate to a lot of the things she was speaking about. And also she was just inspiring me to, get back in touch with my higher power and really start talking to God and being, getting my spirituality back in check. And you guys know on my channel, I try to be respectful of all of you guys' different beliefs, right? Because I know not all of us are Christian, but I really want to get my spirituality and my relationship with God, stronger and built. I talk to him every day because that's part of my recovery. Okay, part of my recovery is I pray every morning and I pray during the day sometimes when I'm struggling. I'll just yell out to God, you guys, in the middle of the day. On your channel, Courtney, I'll just say, Jesus, help me, because there's some days where that's all I can do is just ask Jesus to help me. And I feel like a lot of us don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about what we do when we're struggling. You know, Courtney, what do you do when you're struggling? How do you pull yourself out of that headspace? That's what I want you to talk about today, Courtney. I want you to share with us about how you struggle in your life and what you do to get out on the other side of it. Oh, I love listening. I love books, you guys. And I try to support everybody who I know that has written a book, you know, because it's like, that's a huge endeavor. That's like dedication, you know. I used to be obsessed, girls, with like, and I still am, with reading memoirs about recovery from addiction, okay? And, oh, you guys, some of the best books I have read are from, you know, addicts who are in recovery who have gotten sober and changed their life. So, yay! I'm so glad you guys are all talking and getting to know each other. See? This is what I'm talking about, girls and boys, if there's any boys in here. I want you guys to relate to each other. And we all, if you have a channel, I don't mind you coming in here and sharing, you know, your channel with other people, especially if it's related to recovery, you know, because that's what I want you guys to have. You know, we all can go to other channels where there's the drama and the tea and the makeup and the, you know, but I want my channel to be a place where we talk about things that matter, you know, things that are affecting us in our lives. So, and I want you guys to find support, you know, because that's so important. Support in your recovery, you guys, is like A1. If I didn't have the support that I have, you know, I might not be here still. And so I'm so grateful to have this support from you guys and to have everybody chiming in and getting to know each other out. That makes me so happy to see you guys talking amongst each other. You guys don't even understand it. I'm like, yes, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to build a community, you guys, a community here, right? And I feel like that's what's happening. We've got a community set up of women and men who are like-minded, who are trying to do the same things in their lives, and that's recover from the disease of addiction, or recover from abuse, or recover from eating disorders, just straight up recovery, y'all. Okay, girl, that sounds great. See, there you go. And I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that, because I know for me, when I did my video about agnostic and atheists in the 12 steps, a lot of people really enjoyed that video. And that's what I always want you guys to know. Whatever your beliefs are, you can, listen to me, you can have a higher power, whatever your belief is, right? You just need to connect to that higher power. And whether that's the universe or nature, whatever your higher power is, that's specific to you. And we just want you guys to find your recovery and find a way out of the madness. You know, that's what I always want to do, is just encourage you guys to connect, because the opposite of addiction is connection. And we need to connect and stay connected, you guys, okay? That spiritual connection with you and your higher power, you know, that's going to change your life forever, all right? And I want each and one of you to find that happiness. I want each and every one of you to be happy, joyous, and free. All right? And I know in my heart of hearts that each one of you can find that. I know that you can recover and find your way out. I know it. You know why I know it? Do you know why I know it? Because it's happened for me. It's happened for me. The only thing you have to do, you guys, is be willing to take suggestions and put in the work, right? Just put in a little bit of effort and your life will change forever. You don't have to stay out there in that sickness anymore. Exactly, Lillian. And that's the thing, like, I'm telling you guys, and I've been going over this for the last couple of days. My biggest problem for the longest time was not following through with the suggestions that were given to me. You know, I would just be willing to do what I wanted to do. And when you're trying to recover, you guys, If somebody's trying to help you and they're suggesting things for you to do, you've got to do those things. You can't just do it halfway, okay? You've got to do it. You got to do it. You've got to follow through. So, this is a good talk today. I love coming on here and just having a good talk with you guys. It gets me excited. I go to work. I have a great day. Okay, what color do I want to do now? And it helps me throughout the day. I think about, you know, after we get off here, I think about what we talked about, and then I think about what I want to talk about tonight when I come home. Did you guys see my failed attempt at live streaming last night? So last night I came home or I was home. Neil got home and I thought, yes, I can live stream, right? Yay, good girl. Get them juices flowing. I wanted to live stream, and so Neil got home and I was like, perfect time. I can live stream and Neil can watch the baby, right? Watch Nate. Well, we're chilling and I come upstairs and I turn my phone on and I start live streaming. And the next thing I know, Paco starts howling. My little Chihuahua dog starts howling. And I thought, what is his problem? He's howling, right? So I said, shut up, Paco. And I was trying to talk to you guys. I mean, I was really trying to get into it because I had just gotten done watching Lou Ellen's live, and she was talking about letting go of emotions and how to do that and how to get out of that, you know, hole that you get in with emotionally when you're struggling. And so I was like, I'm going to come on and talk to everybody because she just inspired me. Well, the dogs start barking. Nate starts screaming, my son. And next thing I know, the little neighborhood boy has run in our front door, you guys. And his parents have no idea where he's at. I know, girl, it is serious, isn't it? His parents didn't even know where he was at. So he's running through the house. My dogs are barking. I'm trying to talk to you guys. It's just not working out. So I was like, man, I got to get off here. And so I had to delete it. But then I go to my window and I look outside because I know his grandparents don't know he's here, right? He was 4. He ran straight in our front door, y'all. So we live in a cul-de-sac and he ran straight over. So of course I stick my head out the window and I said, he's over here. And the grandma comes to get him, right? This little boy, you guys, was such a little heathen. He would not listen to one thing she said. She was like, come on, whatever. I can't remember his name. I think it's like Vash or something like that. Nash or something. And, well, yeah, he ran over here on purpose because he wanted to see Nate. And then he was trying to hide from his grandma when she got here to get him. Oh, it's so funny. But the dogs were howling, and so I couldn't do the live stream. But anyway, it was just funny. And you know how I am with Nate. Like, I'm super, super protective over him. Like, he can't leave the house unless I watch him go, you know, because it's in a cul-de-sac. So what I'll do is I'll watch him go over to the neighbor's house to go inside and play. And I always tell him, like, if he, you know, is leaving, he can't just leave without letting somebody know if he's going to go over there or anything like that. Like, he knows better. He always comes and says, hey, Mom, can I go over to so-and-so's house across the street? And I'll say, yeah, let me get up and walk you out, you know. And I always text the next door neighbor to make sure that he's over there and that it's okay and that she's watching them. You know, we try to stick together, me and these neighbor moms. We try to stick together. And, yeah, thank God it was my house, because here's the deal, you guys. Our cul-de-sac, there's 4 of us that live in the cul-de-sac. But there used to be somebody that lived right across the street from us, and she was just not in a good way, right? She was on drugs, and her parents lived there. But what she would do was she would come over when her parents weren't there and break into the house and like get in there and do her laundry and stuff while her mom wasn't there. So what her mom started having me do was call her and tip her off when, you know, hey, she's there right now. So that way she could call, you know, the police or come over there and kick her out of the house, because she would always break in, you know, because she's addicted and she's struggling. She couldn't get sober. I've been trying to get her sober for what, 2-3 years now. I've gotten her into treatment. She just doesn't ever follow through and go. So sad. You know, that's the saddest part, is like when you get somebody help and you're like, okay, I got you the treatment, you can go, and then they won't go. And you're just like, so, it's just like, it's like the worst feeling to know that, you know, you can get somebody to help, but then they're not willing to do it, not willing to go to get the help, you know? That's why now when I help people, you guys, like they have to call the treatment center themselves and set it up. I will give them the number and everything, but they have to do the follow through. Because if they don't go, then I'm just the one who looks like a dumbass, you know? So I don't want to burn the bridges I've made with places that can help people, you know? So I make the addict reach out, which is a good thing to do, because then that helps them to, you know, be willing. So anyway, I'm just jabber-jawing now. I just wanted to pop on and do a little live stream with you guys this morning before I go into work. I've got to go in and do another audit on another store. So I will see you guys this evening at 8, like we normally do. Don't forget, on Friday night at 8 p.m. we'll be doing the Medically Assisted Treatment Anonymous meeting. Yes, absolutely. And Llewellyn, what I've learned from being on YouTube is that a lot of people will say they're ready and they're willing, but then they don't want to do the follow through. So it's like really important, because the time that I'm spending with that person, you know, it'll be just not even, it has to be, I don't want to be working with somebody and then them not be wanting to change. So it's like, helps me to be able to, you know, find people who want to be willing. If they're willing to call and do those things, then I know, okay, they really want to change. They really want to get the help, because they're going to call and get themselves in the treatment. But I get the numbers for them and all the other stuff. I help them find it, you know. But it just helps me to kind of decipher the willingness from the just like attention seeking, you know, because sometimes there are people that are just sick, and I know that, you guys, and they're struggling, and sometimes it's just an attention seeking thing. But anyways, I love you guys. Yeah, that's right. And so I just try to do what I can do, and then, you know, if they're willing, they'll go the extra mile, and then we'll get it all set up. So I will see you guys tonight at 8. And then Friday night, don't forget, you guys, Friday night at 8, we do our mat